Hello friends, and welcome to Happy Living with Dr. Gibbs. Today we'll be discussing the number one health issue that every college student faces. In the eyes of many young adults, college is often considered the best part of a person's life. However, for many of those college students, these eventful years can be undermined by depression, anxiety, eating disorders, and substance abuse. However, I did fail to mention the most prominent issue that college students do face while they're in college, and that issue is stress. So like I was saying, stress is often looked at as inevitable. It could be a health issue that snowballs completely out of control if not addressed early on. Now, before I start talking about exactly what stress is for college students, I want to talk about what stress is in general. And stress is basically our body's response to anything, any kind of demand. And it can come from both good and bad experiences. And in this segment of Happy Living, I will be talking about the bad experiences that stress comes from, obviously for college students. And stress is basically, when this occurs, a chemical called cortisol is released into a person's blood. And when this happens, in most cases, it can be detrimental. Now you may be sitting there asking yourself, what exactly makes college students such a popular subject when it comes to stress? Well, compared to other populations such as adults or high schoolers or even younger than that, college students are exposed to a multitude of stressors. They're exposed to things such as greater academic demands, greater demands in their social life, and greater demands financially. And they also face a bunch of new responsibilities where they are in a new environment. And they're exposed to things where there's new ideas, new temptations, and new people to meet. So, with all these factors contributing to the pressure and stress that college students feel, it's important that they know that there are methods to counteract their effects. Being able to manage stress while a student is in college basically, or ultimately, determines whether they will be successful or not only while they're in college, but when they're in their respective fields. So it's important or actually critical for these students to be informed about the stress management strategies that they can use so that they can take stress and break it in half and take it to another level where they don't even have to worry about it. So now I basically want to individually address some of these stress management strategies. The first one is exercise. Scientists basically say that you should structure 30 minutes of aerobic exercise into your day where you can focus on alleviating some of your stress. Another thing that isn't so easy for college students to do because they have a dining hall on campus where it really isn't the best option, but they have to learn how to have a well-balanced meals throughout the day that are high in whole grain, nuts, fruits, and vegetables. And one good thing that a lot of people don't really know is that if you could substitute fruits for your desserts, you'll be helping yourself out in the long run. Another thing that students do is try to avoid caffeine. A lot of people don't know this, but caffeine tends to aggravate anxiety, depression, and things like that, like insomnia, and kind of it makes people more irritable. The last thing that's a stress management strategy is, this is college where people are drugs and alcohol. There are things where they are more prominent in this area. So trying to avoid that will help you out in the long run for sure. So to bring today's show to a conclusion, I want to leave the people with my main point about college students and how stress affects their lives. The main issue for college students is basically trying to understand how stress works and finding out the most effective ways to work against it. And for college students right now, there's no reason to be afraid of stress, but there's every single reason to be managing it. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you stopped by with the Happy Living with Dr. Gibbs. I appreciate it. We'll see you soon. Stay classy. TCMJ.